The mining station New Hope floated silently above the frozen moon of Kepler 452c. Inside its metal halls, 5,000 humans worked and lived, far from Earth's warm embrace. Commander Jack stood at the observation deck, watching the stars. With tired eyes, 20 years he had led this station. 20 years of peaceful mining, of sending resources back to Earth's growing colonies. "Dad, the drill teams found something interesting in Sector 7, Emma called out, entering the deck with a data pad. His daughter had grown into a fine engineer, her mother's intelligence shining through those brown eyes. Jack smiled and took the pad from her hands. "More titanium deposits?" he asked, scrolling through the data. "Better. Looks like platinum. Enough to fund the colony expansion for." Emma's words died in her throat. The proximity alarms screamed to life. Red lights bathed the observation deck in bloody glow. 3 massive ships tore through space toward them. Not human ships. The vessels were black as void, covered in sharp edges and glowing purple symbols. Crack's battleships. Jack's blood turned cold. Everyone knew about the Crack's empire. 200 star systems under their control. Technology beyond human understanding, and they viewed humans as insects. "All hands to emergency stations," Jack shouted into the comm system. "This is not a drill." The lead Crack ship opened a channel. The view screen flickered to life, revealing Lord Vex. Alien stood 8 feet tall, his gray skin stretched over a skeletal frame. 4 arms ended in clawed hands. His 6 eyes fixed on Jack with cold amusement. "Humans," Vex spoke, his voice like grinding metal. "Your pathetic station sits on our moon. You will surrender all technology and resources. Then you will die." Jack stepped forward, keeping his fear hidden. "Lord Vex, we can negotiate. Take half our supplies. We'll leave the system peacefully. No one needs to die today." Vex's laugh sounded like breaking glass. "Negotiate? With humans? You barely learned to leave your planet. You have no weapons worth mentioning. You exist because we haven't bothered to step on you yet." His 6 eyes narrowed. "But you dare mine our moon. Time to learn your place. Please, we have families here. Children. We meant no disrespect. Fire." Vex commanded. Purple beams erupted from the Crack ships. New Hope's shields flared and died in seconds. The station shook violently. Jack grabbed Emma as explosions rocked the corridors. Screams echoed through the comm channels. "Hull breach in sections 3 through 7. We've lost life support on deck 5. The reactor's going critical." Jack pulled Emma close. "The escape pods. Now." "Not without you." Emma struggled against his grip. "There's no time." Jack dragged her toward the pod bay. Bodies littered the hallways. Friends, colleagues, people who had trusted him to keep them safe. The station groaned and twisted around them. The pod bay held only 6 functioning pods. Maybe 50 people had made it. Thousands were already gone. Jack pushed Emma into a pod with young Tom and other survivors. "Dad, get in." Jack kissed her forehead. "Someone needs to launch the pods manually. The system's damaged." He stepped back, sealing the door. "No, Dad, please." Emma pounded on the glass. Jack moved to the control panel. His hands steadied despite everything ending around him. "Emma, listen to me. Don't seek revenge and anger. Seek justice with wisdom. Remember that. Promise me." "I promise." "But Dad," he pulled the launch lever. The pods shot into space as another explosion tore through the station. Emma pressed against the window, watching New Hope break apart. She saw her father one last time, standing tall at the controls as fire consumed everything. The station exploded. A brief star in the darkness, then nothing. 4,950 human lives gone in minutes. The Crack's ships didn't even bother pursuing the pods. Too pathetic to waste energy on. Emma's pod tumbled through space, her tears floating in zero gravity. Behind them, debris that was once home, once family, once hope, spread across the void like scattered ashes. Vex's ship turned away, already forgetting the insignificant humans. Just another minor cleaning of pests. Nothing worth remembering. But Emma would remember. Every face, every name. Every life stolen by Crack's arrogance. She would remember everything. Asterisk the escape pods crashed hard on Titan III. An abandoned planet marked uninhabitable on star charts. Emma pulled herself from twisted metal, her body screaming in pain. Around her, other survivors emerged from their pods like ghosts. 50 souls out of 5,000. The math made her sick. Tom, the young miner, helped her stand. Emma, where are we? She checked her scanner. Titan III. Old survey teams marked it dead. But she pointed toward a structure half buried in red sand. That's a research facility. Earth military, from the looks of it. The facility's doors had been sealed for decades. Inside, they found supplies, water recyclers, and working power cells. Enough to survive. But Emma found something more in the restricted section. Files marked with red stamps. Project Phoenix, terminated by Earth Council. Too dangerous. She read through the night while others slept. The files spoke of humanity's hidden nature. Ancient wars on Earth had been so terrible, so violent, that humans had deliberately suppressed their true potential. They chose peace by locking away what made them dangerous. But Project Phoenix had found ways to unlock it. Enhanced strength through stress-triggered genetic activation. Increased neural processing under extreme trauma. Adaptive evolution protocols in hostile environments. Emma's hands shook. The attack on New Hope, the trauma, the crash, they had already started the process. She could feel it. Her vision was sharper, her reflexes faster. The heavy gravity of Titan III that should have crushed them felt manageable. "We're changing," she whispered to herself. "All of us." The next morning, she gathered the survivors. "I found something, a way to make sure no one ever calls humans weak again." Some resisted. An older engineer named Paul shook his head. "Emma, we should contact the Galactic Council. Surrender properly. Maybe they'll protect us." "Protect us?" Emma laughed bitterly. "We're nothing to them. Insects, pests, the Cracks killed 5,000 of us, like stepping on ants. No one's coming to help." She showed them the Phoenix files. "But we can help ourselves. We can become what humanity locked away, what we chose to forget because we wanted peace." Tom stepped forward first. "What do we need to do?" The training was brutal. Emma used the Phoenix protocols, combined with Titan III's harsh environment. They ran through sandstorms that would have killed normal humans, lifted weights in 3 times Earth gravity, fought with broken equipment until their bodies adapted or broke. Many wanted to quit, but Emma reminded them of New Hope, of families turned to ash, of Crack's laughter as humans begged for mercy. After 3 months, Tom was the first breakthrough. A support beam fell toward a group during construction. Tom caught it, alone, a beam that should have required machinery to move. His muscles had reformed, denser, and more efficient. His bones had thickened. His reaction time exceeded anything in human records. "This is impossible," Paul whispered, finally believing. "No," Emma corrected. "This is what humans really are. What we chose to forget." But the galaxy made us remember. They found crashed Crack scout ships scattered across Titan III's surface. Ships that had landed over centuries and never left. Emma studied their technology, while her enhanced mind processed information at incredible speed. She understood systems, That should have taken years to decode. Their tech is advanced, she told the group, now all showing enhancement signs. But they've grown soft behind it. Look at these suits. All the strength comes from machines. The cracks themselves are physically weak, hollow bones for low-gravity worlds. Slow reflexes because computers do everything. Tom held up a cracks rifle. So they're glass cannons. All firepower, no foundation. Emma smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. Exactly. They never faced something that could take a hit and keep coming. They never faced humans who remembered what we really are. 6 months after the crash, a Cracks patrol ship landed on Titan III, seeking rare minerals. The crew of 3 expected to find nothing, but rocks and death dot. They found 50 enhanced humans instead. The fight lasted 30 seconds. The Cracks commander barely had time to scream before Tom's fist shattered his helmet. Emma disabled their ship's distress beacon while others secured the weapons. She stood over the captured Cracks pilot, who trembled in terror. Please ... Humans are peaceful. You don't kill ... We were peaceful, Emma corrected. We chose to be gentle. You mistook that for weakness. She leaned closer. But when you took our peace, you reminded us of something. Humans didn't become Earth's apex predator by being weak. We chose to be kind, and you took that choice away. The pilot's 6 eyes widened in horror as understanding dawned. They hadn't attacked weak creatures. They had awakened sleeping monsters. Asterisk. Emma stood on the bridge of their captured crack ship, now renamed First Hope. The pilot's codes had given them access to Crack's communication networks. For weeks, they listened and learned. The Empire was vast, but hollow, like a bubble stretched. Too thin. Look at this. Tom pointed to the star map. 200 systems, but only 40 have actual Cracks populations. The rest are slave worlds. Emma studied the data her enhanced mind processed at superhuman speed. They're parasites. They conquer, they take, but they don't build. Everything relies on their technology working perfectly. Paul, now fully enhanced and believing, discovered something crucial. Emma, every crack ship has the same weakness. One centralized power core. If it fails, everything fails. Weapons, shields, life support, everything. They never needed redundancy, Emma realized. No one ever fought back effectively enough to exploit it. They spent months gathering intelligence, using the crack ship to move freely through Empire. Space. The Cracks were so arrogant, they never questioned their own vessels. Emma's team rescued small groups of human survivors from prison colonies, people taken from frontier settlements. Each rescue was surgical, quick, silent. The humans they saved were traumatized, perfect candidates for Phoenix enhancement. Emma trained them personally, watching humanity's sleeping strength awaken in every survivor. Remember, she told each new recruit, we're not becoming monsters. We're becoming what humanity always was. Survivors, protectors, the species that conquered Earth through intelligence and will, then chose peace because we knew our own strength. Within a year, they had 5,000 enhanced humans. They called themselves the Phoenix Legion, rising from the ashes of New Hope. Emma established hidden bases on dead worlds the Cracks ignored. Each base became a training ground, a weapons laboratory, a planning center. They developed new technology by combining human creativity with Cracks equipment. Ghost ships, vessels wrapped in sensor-deflecting materials that made them invisible to Cracks scanning. Weapons that targeted the exact frequency of Cracks power cores. Combat suits that enhanced their already improved bodies. The first real strike came at a Cracks supply depot. Emma led 20 fighters in a ghost ship. They hit at shift change when Cracks' attention was lowest. The depot's defenses designed to repel fleet attacks, couldn't target individuals moving at enhanced human speeds. Tom planted charges on the power core, while Emma's team eliminated guards with quiet efficiency. The crack soldiers, relying on their suit's strength, crumbled when faced with humans who broke through their armor with bare hands. The depot exploded 30 seconds after the humans left. The cracks found only ruins, and a message burned into the metal. Remember New Hope. They hit 3 more depots that month. Each attack was different, unpredictable. The cracks' computer models couldn't adapt to human chaos. Where cracks' doctrine said retreat, humans advanced. Where logic said defend, humans attacked from another angle. Lord Vex received the reports in his throne ship. Pirates, he dismissed. Scavengers picking at scraps, double the patrols. But the attacks increased. Communication relays went dark. Shipping lanes were disrupted. Each site had the same message. Remember New Hope. Emma made contact with species enslaved by the cracks. The Zorn, silicon-based beings forced to mine for centuries. The Melek, aquatic. Creatures whose oceans were being drained. The Drani, whose children were taken as servants. We can't enhance you like humans, Emma told their representatives. Our biology is unique, but we can teach you to fight, to resist, to make the cracks, bleed for every inch of space. She shared tactical knowledge, guerrilla strategies, and most importantly, the truth. The cracks were not invincible. They were weak beings hiding behind technology, and technology could fail. The Phoenix Legion grew beyond humans. Resistance cells sprouted across the Empire. The cracks tried to respond with overwhelming force, but their fleets arrived to find empty bases and mocking messages. Emma watched from her command center as Lord Vex appeared on stolen transmissions, his 6 eyes blazing with fury. Find these terrorists. Burn every world they might hide on. Terrorists, Tom laughed beside her. We're terrorists for wanting justice. No, Emma corrected, her voice cold as space. We're teachers. We're teaching the galaxy a lesson the cracks forgot. She turned to her growing army. That humans didn't climb to the top of Earth's food chain by being prey. We did it by being the most dangerous thing that ever walked on 2 legs. And then we chose to be kind. She looked back at Vex's image. But they took that choice from US. So now they'll learn what happens when humanity stops being kind, when we remember what we really are. The hunt was no longer beginning. It had become a war. And humanity was winning. The galaxy watched in shock as the impossible became reality. The Cracks Empire, untouchable for 1,000 years, was bleeding. News spread through hidden channels and whispered communications. The humans were not just surviving. They were winning. In the depths of space, representatives from oppressed worlds met Emma in secret. The Zorn ambassador's crystal body chimed with excitement. 12 crack stations in our sector, destroyed. Your tactics work, human. Memo. The Melek representative floated in her water sphere. Our people sing of Phoenix Legion. You gave us hope when we had forgotten its meaning. Emma stood before the assembled aliens, her enhanced body radiating controlled power. Hope isn't enough. We need coordination. The cracks still outnumber us, but they've never faced united resistance. She shared more than tactics now. The Phoenix protocols couldn't work on alien biology, but she taught them human concepts the galaxy had forgotten. Sacrifice, unity, the power of fighting for something greater than survival. The cracks rule through fear, she explained. They make you think you're alone, weak. But look around this room. We're not alone. And we're not weak. We're just beginning. Lord Vex finally understood the threat. His throne ship's war room displayed a galaxy in rebellion. Red markers showed attacks, lost territories, fallen stations. His advisors cowered as he raged. How How are primitives defeating the Empire? His intelligence officer trembled. Lord Vex, we've identified their leader. The human female from New Hope, the station you destroyed 2 years ago. Vex's 6 eyes widened. Impossible. Humans don't have the capacity for this level of warfare. They do now, Lord. They've changed, enhanced themselves somehow, and they're teaching others. The entire galaxy is learning to resist. Vex swept his arm across the holographic display, scattering the lights. Then we end this. Set a trap. Leak information about our primary weapons depot on Craxus 7. When they come, we crush them all. Emma received the intelligence through her spy network. She sat in her command center, surrounded by her senior staff. Tom shook his head. It's obviously a trap. Of course it is, Emma agreed. Vex is getting desperate. Sloppy. Paul studied the tactical display. We can't ignore it, though. Even if it's a trap, that depot supplies half their fleet. Emma stood, her decision made. We spring the trap. But we spring it our way. She turned to her commanders. Prepare the Ghost Fleet. All of it. And send word to our allies. If Vex wants a battle, we'll give him one he'll never forget. The assault on Craxus 7 became legend. 60 ghost ships emerged from hyperspace simultaneously, their stealth systems dropping as one. The Crax fleet, expecting a small raid, faced an armada. But the real surprise came from behind. Zorn crystal ships, Melek biovessels, Drani swarm. Fighters, the enslaved species, had come to fight. Emma led from the front, her ship diving through enemy fire that would have vaporized normal vessels. Enhanced human pilots performed maneuvers that defied physics, their improved reflexes allowing split-second decisions. Tom's squadron targeted the power cores with surgical precision. One by one, Crax battleships went dark, floating helpless. In space, the depot's shields fell as Paul's team overloaded their generators with hijacked Crax codes. Lord Vex watched his trap become a massacre. Half his fleet burned in space. The depot exploded, taking years of resources with it. But worse was the broadcast. Emma had transmitted the entire battle across the galaxy. See them run, her voice echoed on every frequency. The mighty Crax Empire, fleeing from those they called weak. Every species they enslaved, every world they conquered. Look at your masters now. They bleed, they fear. They die just like everyone else. The uprising exploded across 200. Systems, slave worlds threw off their chains. Crax colonies found themselves isolated, surrounded by enemies they had created through centuries of cruelty. Vex's remaining fleet retreated to the capital world. His advisors begged him to negotiate, to offer terms. But his pride wouldn't allow it. Not to humans. Not to the species he had personally tried to exterminate. Emma's next broadcast reached every corner of the galaxy. She stood in her command center, surrounded by humans and aliens united in purpose. Her words were clear, measured, and carried the weight of prophecy. Lord Vex, you killed 5,000 innocent humans at New Hope. You laughed as my father died, trying to save others. You called us weak, pathetic, not worth remembering. Her eyes burned with controlled fury. I challenge you. Single combat. Your strength against mine. Your pride against human will. Face me, or let the galaxy see you for the coward you are. The challenge echoed through space. By Crax law, by their own honor code that they forced on others, Vex had to accept or lose everything. His own people would turn on him if he showed such cowardice. Vex appeared on screen, his gray skin pale. With rage. Accepted, human. I will enjoy breaking you slowly. Emma smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. The entire galaxy will watch, Vex. They'll see you's really weak. The date was set. The location chosen. Neutral ground where thousands would witness the fight. That would determine humanity's place among the stars. Tom put his hand on Emma's shoulder. You sure about this? She nodded, looking at the stars where New Hope once orbited. Dad said seek justice with wisdom. Sometimes, wisdom means showing the galaxy that humans aren't to be trifled with. The uprising had reached its crescendo. Everything came down to one fight. One human against the symbol of crack supremacy. The galaxy held its breath and waited. Asterisk. The neutral station Harmony floated between the territories of 12 species. Built for diplomacy, it now hosted something primitive, single combat. 40,000 beings filled the amphitheater. Billions more watched through quantum broadcasts. The galaxy had never witnessed such interest in one fight. Lord Vex arrived. In ceremonial armor, purple energy crackling across its surface. 4 arms wielded different weapons: plasma blade, gravity hammer, neural disruptor, and molecular destabilizer. His 6 eyes swept the crowd with disgust. Insects gathering to watch an insect die, he announced. After I tear this human apart, you will all remember your place. Emma entered from the opposite side. She wore a simple Earth combat suit, gray and unremarkable. In her hand, a single knife, steel forged on Earth, carried by her father. The crowd murmured. No energy weapons. No armor worth mentioning. Was she insane? Tom and Paul watched from the human section. She knows what she's doing, Tom said. The worry creased his face. The adjudicator, an ancient machine intelligence, spoke. Combat until surrender or death. No interference. Begin. Vex moved first, faster than any normal being could track. His plasma blade carved through air where Emma had stood. But she was already moving, her enhanced reflexes reading his attack before he completed it. The gravity hammer slammed down, cracking the floor. Emma rolled aside, studying his patterns. Stand still, pest. Vex roared, all 4 weapons swinging in lethal arcs. Emma dodged, weaved, and watched. Every move taught her something. Vex relied on his armor's power, not his own strength. His attacks were programmed, predictable. He had never faced something that could match his speed. The neural disruptor fired, designed to paralyze any nervous system. Emma took the hit directly. Crowd gasped, but she kept moving. The Phoenix enhancement had changed her neural structure. What should have killed her merely stung. Impossible. Vex's eyes widened. You never understood humans. Emma spoke for the first time, circling him. We survived ice ages, predators, disasters, wars that nearly ended our world. We didn't become Earth's dominant species by being weak. She smiled coldly. We did it by being too stubborn to die. Vex charged, abandoning strategy for rage. Emma met him head-on. Her fist connected with his chest armor, and the impossible happened. The armor cracked. Vex stumbled back, his breathing labored. Beneath the armor, his hollow bones had fractured from the impact. Your armor is impressive, Emma continued, advancing now. But you've hidden behind it so long, you forgot what strength really is. She caught his gravity hammer mid-swing, her enhanced muscles straining but holding. The crowd stood in stunned silence. A human, holding back Crack's technology with pure physical power. She twisted, using Vex's momentum against him. He crashed into the wall, armor sparking. The molecular destabilizer fired wildly. Emma felt it graze her arm, flesh dissolving. She didn't even slow down. Pain was nothing compared to watching 5,000 people die. She grabbed Vex's lower right arm and pulled. The limb separated from his body with a wet snap. His scream echoed through the station. That's for the children on New Hope, she said calmly. Vex's plasma blade swung desperately. Emma caught his wrist, squeezing until bones shattered. The blade fell. That's for the mothers who died protecting them. She struck his knee, dropping him. His armor, damaged and sparking, began to fail. The mighty Lord Vex knelt before a human. 3 arms broken, armor dying, pride shattered. And this, Emma raised her father's knife, is for Commander Jack, my father, who you killed while he saved others. The blade pressed against Vex's throat. One movement would end it. The crowd held its breath. Vex's 6 eyes showed something new fear. Real, absolute terror. Emma stood there for a long moment, remembering her father's words. Don't seek revenge in anger. Seek justice with wisdom. She pulled the blade back. I won't kill you, Vex. Death would be mercy. You'll live. You'll watch the empire you built on suffering crumble. You'll see humans protect those you enslaved. And every day, you'll remember that a human showed you mercy when you showed none. She cut his commander insignia from his armor, holding it. Hi. I take this as payment for new hope. The Krax Empire will pay reparations to every species you've wronged. You'll free every slave, return every stolen world, or we'll finish what we started. Vex looked up at her, broken and defeated. The galaxy ... will fear you now. You've become ... monsters. Emma shook her head. No, we've become protectors. There's a difference. She turned to the watching crowd, her voice carrying to billions. Humanity makes this pledge. We will stand between the strong and the weak. We will protect those who cannot protect themselves. Attack us. Attack those under our protection, and you'll learn why humans became Earth's apex species. She helped Vex stand, surprising everyone. But show peace, and you'll find no better friend than humanity. We choose to be kind. Don't make us choose otherwise. The amphitheater erupted, not in cheers for violence, but for something else. Hope. Justice. A new order where might wouldn't make right. Where the weak had protectors who chose peace but could wage war. 10 years later, Emma stood in the same spot, now as head of the Galactic Council. The station had been renamed New Hope Station, a monument to the 5,000 who died and the billions who lived because of their sacrifice. Lord Vex, now ambassador from the reformed Krax Republic, approached her. Age and defeat had humbled him. The quarterly reparation payments have been sent, Counselor Emma. She nodded. How are the infrastructure projects on the former slave worlds? Ahead of schedule. The Zorn are excellent engineers, when not forced to just mine. He hesitated. May I speak freely? Always. His 6 eyes looked at the memorial wall, where her father's name stood first among the honored dead. I was wrong. I thought humans weak because you chose peace, because you helped others instead of conquering them. And now? Now I know thee. Truth. Humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy, not because of your strength or your enhancements, but because you have the power to destroy and choose to build, the strength to kill and choose to protect. You defeated us not through violence, but by showing the galaxy what real strength looks like. Emma touched her father's name on the wall. My father taught me that. Justice with wisdom. Strength with mercy. That's what makes us human. She looked out at the stars where children of all species played together on the station, where former enemies worked side by side, where the Phoenix Legion stood guard, not as conquerors, but as protectors. We didn't want this war, Vex. We wanted to mine, explore, and live in peace. You took that from us. But in doing so, you gave. U.S. purpose. You reminded us who we are. And you gave the galaxy something it needed. What's that? Emma smiled. A real smile this time. Hope. And the knowledge that humans are friends to those who choose friendship, protectors to those who need protection, and absolute hell to those who threaten either. The memorial chimed. marking another anniversary of New Hope's destruction. 5,000 names scrolled past. 5,000 reasons why humanity would never again let the innocent stand alone. Never again, Emma whispered. Never again, Vex agreed, understanding finally what he had awakened. Not humanity's rage. Their purpose. The galaxy was at peace, protected by those once called weak, guarded by those who chose kindness but never forgot strength. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, not as victims. As guardians. The tale of isolated vengeance had become a legend of justice. And everyone knew humans were kind by choice, not by weakness, and that choice made them the strongest of all.